Good evening and welcome to the J-98 Dream Team ceremony. I want to personally thank everybody for coming out tonight and supporting our 30 Dream Team athletes in spring sports this year. This is our third Dream Team ceremony of the 2012 and 2013 school year, and we're going to be honoring athletes in boys and girls track, girls soccer, golf, and baseball today. And my name is Glenn Johnson. I'm the sports director at KTJJ and KREI Radio based in Farmington. And also we have a station in Festus, KJFF, and that's 1400 on your AM dial. And they cover our Jefferson County schools. Our program director is here today, Chad Speaker. He's sitting at the table to my right. He'll be the one giving out the certificates and plaques and patches today. And if you want to give him a round of applause, you can. He is my boss. The better you make him feel, the better I'm going to look, so that's good. But I want to also introduce Jack Sadler. He's the guy running the camera tonight on J98 Web TV. Big round of applause for Jack. Our Dream Team interviews and pictures of our athletes are going to be on mimoinfo.com later on this week. And Michelle Minley and Nick Hobbs are our picture takers. They're members of our awesome sales staff at the radio station. So let's give them a round of applause. Now, you've been given order forms for the Dream Team DVD for tonight, and also you can buy the copy of your athlete's ceremony or interview. But you can go and listen to those for free, actually, by going to mimoinfo.com later on in the week, and we'll have the picture of the athlete there, and you can just click on their picture and listen to the interview that way. If you don't want to pay the $10, don't know if I'm supposed to tell you that, but I did. Now let me tell you about the Dream Team process. Now it's listed on your program, but for the folks listening at home, this is how it works. Us at the radio stations, we have no control over who makes our Dream Team. All I do is tally the votes. It's a menial task, but it's worth all the effort once we get the end result. What I do is I send out a nomination form, and I send it to all the coaches in our listening area for each sport. And again, we do this 3 times a year for the different fall, winter, and spring Dream Teams. Those coaches nominate whoever on their teams think is good enough to possibly make the Dream Team. And they send those nomination forms back to me with stats, extracurricular activities, whatever they think might help their kid make the Dream Team. But also, it's all true stuff that kind of pops out on the page. That's why we also honor scholar athletes. So coaches in the future, if you ever want to send more and more information to us, we will accept that because that's how we determine our scholar athletes. And we've got 2 good ones that we're going to announce tonight. But anyway, whoever makes the Dream Team is voted on by coaches as well. Once we get that information on a ballot, we send it back out to all the coaches for them to vote, and then the top 5, 10, however many in their sport ends up being the Dream Team. It's better than being all conference. It's better than being all district. Really, it's better than being all region. It's almost as good as pretty much being all state. And the reason for that is we don't discriminate with classes. We throw all the classes together, class 1, 2, 3, 4, and even 5. So if you make the Dream Team, you're the best of the best in all the classes in the state of Missouri for our region, Southeast Missouri, basically. So it's a big deal if you're on the Dream Team here tonight. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started. And first on the docket today is golf. And our first speaker is from Arcadia Valley. He qualified 2 golfers for state this year. He's a 3-time Coach of the Year, and he's also the reigning Coach of the Year in golf. Please welcome Mike Yates from Arcadia Valley.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank J-98, KREI, KJF for the great things they do for all the kids, and to congratulate all you guys for making a Dream Team. I'm here this evening to talk about Kyle Sutton. Come here, boy. Kyle's the son of Jill and Steve Sutton of Ironton. He's a junior at Arcadia Valley. He was a medalist for the golf team at AV 7 times this year. He's ranked 15th in his class. He's a member of the National Honor Society. He's chapter secretary for Skills USA VICA. His freshman year, he placed 2nd in the conference, 2nd in district, and qualified for sectionals and kind of had to come apart at sectionals his freshman year. Kyle was the MVP for the AV golf team his sophomore year, received the second place for conference, second place all district, and was sectional and state qualifier his sophomore year. This year, Kyle also received the MVP award. He, for the AV golf team, was district co-medalist, 5th at sectionals, and finished 32nd in the state. Kyle's one of the funnest people to be around on the golf course you'll find. He keeps things interesting on the bus rides, keeps team spirits up, and I just want to say, Kyle, congratulations. Looking forward to a good year next year. Thank you.
Our next presenter hails from the same high school as I do. He actually graduated a couple years ahead of me at Perryville High School. Please welcome Justin Dreyer of the Perryville Pirates.
I'll start off by doing some of the same. Thank J-98 for everything they do, and congratulate all the athletes that are sitting behind us. And I'm here to talk about Brett Snurbush. Brett is a junior this year. He's been my number one or two golfer ever since he was a freshman. This year I think he really took the leadership role. His average was 41 this year, and it's kind of misleading. It probably was around a 39 and a half or a 40 if you'd have taken one match. Our first match of the year, he came in, and when he walked into the clubhouse, you can tell he was pretty disgusted with himself. So knowing Brett, I thought, he probably shot around a 44 or 45, which is a bad round for Brett, but a good round for some. And we added up the scorecard, and it added up to a 50. And, I know Brett and how hard he works, and, he wasn't happy with that. And, ever since that first match, we had 8 more matches. His worst score after the first match was a 42. And out of those 8 matches, he kept 4 of those matches in the 30s. He shot an even par 36, a 38, a couple 39s. And there's a reason why he's standing here tonight. He's a very hard worker. He, whether it was staying afterwards, if practice at the driving range and hitting an extra bucket of balls, or staying after and playing, 9 extra holes, or, if we're leaving for a tournament, he would even get up and go out to the driving range around 6 in the morning. So, him being here, he really deserves that. Some of his accomplishments that he had this year, he was a medalist in 7 of our 9 matches. He was a top 10 in the Festus Invitational, which included 70 or 75 golfers. He was all conference again this year for the 3rd straight year, all district for the 2nd straight year, and just missed going to state again this year. For the last 2 seasons now, he's missed going to state by a total of 5 strokes. So he's right there. I know he's good enough, and I fully expect him to reach his goal and get to state next year. So Brett, I want to say congratulations, and I'm glad you're a junior and coming back for one more year.
Our next presenter is a 2-time Coach of the Year. He, too, is the reigning Coach of the Year in golf. He tied last year with Coach Mike Yates from Arcadia Valley. He's the athletic director at Potosi, always very helpful when we come out for sporting events. Give a warm welcome for Mike Mapes.
I know it's going to sound like a broken record thanking the radio station, but I'm in the kid business, and what they do for the kids on a night like tonight is to be commended. So thank you, fellas. I appreciate what you do. Congratulations to all those behind me. Through hard work and dedication, they're up here. I'd like to introduce Eric McCoy. He is not a junior. He's a recent graduate of Potosi High School. How's that feel? Pretty good. Yeah, I'd say so. Eric is this is his 2nd year. He's a dream teamer. He's 4-time all-conference, 3-time all-district, 2-time sectional, 1-time state participant. He is the reigning conference tournament champion for the MAAA conference. He Next year, he's going to further his golf career and his education. He's going to play golf at Mineral Area College on scholarship. Congratulations, Eric McCoy.
Our next presenter and player, as a matter of fact, unable to attend tonight. Now, our player is Ben Rizika from St. Pius. Let's give Ben a round of applause. Just talked to Ben yesterday for his Dream Team interview, and he said he is at a place where most of our golfers would probably rather be right now. He's at Lake of the Ozarks playing golf. So he was not able to attend, but Kevin Halley, the St. Pius athletic director, did send me some words to say about Ben Rizika, a St. Pius golfer. This is his first time on the Dream Team this year. He was a state qualifier in Class 2 from St. Pius, team qualifier as well. He led the team to its first ever district championship in the entire history of St. Pius, and he was the anchor on that team that won the district title. He's been a 4-year varsity golfer. He also played soccer and was a member of the 2011 Class 1 third place finisher at St. Pius. His season average +7 this year. Another round of applause for Ben Rizika from St. Pius. Our final presenter in the sport of golf this afternoon had 2 qualifiers for state this year and was the conference champion coach in his conference. Please welcome Tom Pro from St. Vincent.
Good evening, and I'm here to speak about Levi Gatto, our MVP this year. You come on up, Levi. Levi is also a junior. I noticed there's a couple other juniors that are here, so it's really nice to have somebody on the Dream Team their junior year, because you know they are coming back next year. He was all conference all 3 years. He was all district all 3 years. He qualified for state all 3 years. Last year in state, he just squeaked into all state at number 15, which was a great honor for him to receive the all-state medal. This year, he was hoping to do a lot better, and I'll just relate one real memorable moment for you. While we were up at Silo Ridge in the state competition this year, and the second hole of the competition is a par 3 with water to the left and water behind the green. And Levi hit a beautiful shot, but hit the back of the green and rolled off the back, and that means water, because water's right behind the green. And so we were following him, and we saw him back there picking out a club, and he didn't drop a ball, and he go, where's that ball at? And we saw him hit the ball, and it came back on the green. And right as you get to the water, there's a little bitty wall there, and I mean maybe a foot wide. His ball was sitting on the wall, sitting. He hit that ball off the wall. He didn't really want to mess up his clubs too bad, so he tried to pick it clean, which didn't work too well. But I really had a good feeling then when he said his ball just sat there on the wall. I said, this might be his year then. And he did finish up third in state this year, so I was really proud of him for holding it together for 2 days, not just the first day, but the second day was just as good and much different conditions and stuff. I just wanted to say that he also plays football and he also plays basketball, so sports is a year-round project for him, and I'm very proud of him academically, always on the honor roll, and I hope that next year it even gets better. So congratulations, Levi.
It's now time to present our player and coach of the year for golf. And before I do announce who our player of the year is, Michelle, I'm going to have you take the picture as Chad is handing the plaque to him. Okay, so when you're announced, come up, get your plaque from Chad, and get your picture taken by lovely Michelle Minley in the first row. Okay. Golf Player of the Year. It's his second time making the Dream Team. He's been all conference all 4 years in high school. He was the Farmington Tournament champion and MAAA Conference Tournament champion, Eric McCoy from Potosi. As for our Coach of the Year, pretty good resume behind this coach this season. How about undefeated in conference play? Tom Pro from St. Vincent.
I'll just say very quickly, thank you very much. I was not even closely thinking this when we came up tonight. I'm just kind of stunned, so I'm speechless. Thank you very much.
Speechless is always a good reaction, and player and coach of the year are voted on by coaches as well. So you guys thank your peers for that because they saw that in you. Let's give one more round of applause for the 2013 Golf Dream Team. We move on to girls soccer, and our first presenter in girls soccer was the boys soccer coach of the year in 2010. He led his girls team to an 18-5 record this year, including a 13-game winning streak, which was the most in Farmington high school history. He's also introducing his daughter for the third time. Welcome Rusty Santagra from Farmington.
Come on up here. I'm here to speak on behalf of Taylor Santagra. As most of you know, I'm her father, as he just said, and I'm thankful that she did get all of her soccer ability from her mother, Heather Santagra. Anyway, this is a tough speech for me to give because it's the last one I get to give on her behalf because she's decided to forego her senior year. She's just a junior, but she's decided to forego her senior year of high school soccer and head to Arkansas and start her college career there a semester early. So it's a big loss for me as a dad and a big loss, for our program because she's the most decorated soccer player in our school history. She's a 3-time All-Conference, 3-time All-District, 3-time All-Region, 3-time All-Tournament team at Pacific, Carbondale, and she was the Parkway Showcase game player of the match, and she's a 3-time KTJJ Dream Team member. She's 2-time All-State. It hasn't been released yet, but I'm assuming she'll be a 3-time All-State player. As a junior, Taylor put up some pretty good stats. She finished the season with 57 goals and 24 assists in 23 games. She added to her career records that she has set in every offensive category at Farmington. She finished her career with 157 goals in 3 years, 65 assists, and 379 career points in 70 games. She averaged 2.3 goals per game, 5.4 points per game. The numbers stand out, but there's no doubt that her biggest ability is to make players around her better, and her competitiveness carries over to her teammates. We have the 3 teams that she has been a part of, have set records for the most wins in a season, most goals in a season, most points in a season, most assists, and fewest goals allowed. In my 9 years of coaching at Farmington, we have compiled more wins in the last 3 years than we had in the previous 6. She finishes her career with 50 wins, 20 losses on those 3 teams. A lot of that success is due to the ability of her to compete and finish chances that her teammates and her create. She's currently ranked 16th in the country in 2014 class as a forward. I'm truly excited to what the future holds for her. Hate to see her go, obviously, but I thank you for your time and dedication to help change the face of Farmington girls soccer.
"57 goals this year for Taylor. That's amazing. I don't have that many goals in life. It's outstanding. Our next presenter, that was off the cusp. You like that? Our next presenter is the reigning boys soccer coach of the year from our fall dream team. Just like Rusty, he pulls double duty from Perryville High School. Warm welcome for Jerry Fulton.
Thank you. I also would like to thank the radio station and congratulate all the players behind me for the honor they're getting tonight. It is my privilege and honor to present Natalie Grimaud. Natalie is a senior from Perryville High School. Natalie is the daughter of Ted and Glenda Grimaud of Perryville. Natalie has played soccer for 4 years as well as volleyball and basketball. She was a captain on the soccer team this year. You know, Natalie came to our varsity team during the rebuilding period, and she stepped up to the challenge and helped us with the rebuilding. As a junior, she had 6 goals and led the team with assists with 21. As a senior, she led by example, scoring 15 goals and leading the team in assists again with 19. She was a first team all-conference, first team all-district, first team all-region last year. And this year, she is a first team all-conference and first team all-region. We have not heard anything from districts yet. I would be shocked if she doesn't make first team all-district as well. One thing Natalie does is works hard, and she never takes a break. She's a great leader on the field, and an example of her working hard, Natalie, like I said, played 3 sports this year. She started practice before school started for the first sport. Well, our volleyball team went to 4th and state, so that carried into basketball season. When she started playing basketball, went straight from volleyball. Well, basketball ran over about 3 days into soccer, so she went straight from basketball to soccer. Soccer lasted until 3 days before school got out. So Natalie, during all this, maintained a 3.74 GPA out of 4.0 and ranked 10th in her class. So I guess my point being, she is a hard worker at everything she does. She has been on the KTJJ Dream Team twice already this year for volleyball and basketball, where she also received the Player of the Year award in basketball. Natalie is planning on attending Mineral College next year on a volleyball scholarship, where she will study towards her bachelor degree of science degree in chemistry. Natalie's going to be surely missed next season. She's got big shoes to fill at the center of our soccer team, and it's my honor and privilege to say congratulations, Natalie, and good luck.
Natalie holds all kinds of records at Perryville High School. She's also got a couple of dream team records, one of them being, and this is a tie, other athletes have done this, but she's been on every single dream team this year, her senior year, fall, winter, and spring, 4 times overall. She also holds the record for most times crying in a dream team interview, 3 for 3 this year. I got her all 3 times. It was awesome. Our next presenter was named the Boys and Girls Soccer Coach of the Year in 2011, but unfortunately unable to attend tonight, but for a pretty good reason. The St. Pius girls soccer team is still alive in the state playoffs. They've actually made the state Final Four, and they're playing on Friday in the semifinal against Springfield Catholic. So unable to attend was Coach Dan Bokern. However, again, St. Pius Athletic Director Kevin Howley sent me something to say about their 2 dream teamers this year, Haley Eastridge and Caroline Bosler. Let's give those 2 a round of applause. I'll start with Haley Eastridge. She's a team captain for St. Pius, also a 3-time Dream Teamer herself. She's made a verbal commitment to play at Illinois State University. She is the leading scorer on the 2012 Class 1 state champion. St. Pius won the state title last year. 2013, so far, 40 goals and 19 assists. Also the JCAA Player of the Year. That's the conference that St. Pius plays in. For her career, 112 goals. She broke the school record of 106, previously held by Jamie Derleth. As she has another year left, she'll certainly set a school record for goals that may not be broken for a very long time. Also a 3-year starter for the Lancers girls basketball team, including all conference and all district honors while playing basketball. Haley Eastridge from St. Pius. The Lancers' other dream teamer was Caroline Bosler, And she has been a team captain for 2 years under Coach Bokern. She's a 2-time Dream Teamer herself. She signed a letter of intent to attend and play soccer at Quincy University, which is a Division II school up near Hannibal. Also, the second leading scorer on the 2012 Class 1 state champion team. In 2013, so far, with 27 goals and 23 assists for a career 104 goals, she'll finish as the second leading scorer in program history. Caroline was a 4-year starter in softball, including all conference, all district, and all region. She was a 4-year player in basketball, 3 years as a starter, including all conference honors while playing basketball. Caroline Bosler of St. Pius. It's amazing the resumes on some of these kids. It's awesome to read. St. Vincent coach Keith Valansky is in his first year with the program, or just finished up. Let's give Coach Valansky a big round of applause.
On the behalf of St. Vincent High School, I'd like to thank the radio station and congratulate everybody, all the athletes. I'm here representing Miss Holly Sissel. Hopefully I don't embarrass her too much, but Holly was the only senior on the soccer team this year. And it takes, the average midfielder runs 6 to 9 miles a game. Holly did it every single game, did not miss one game this year. If it wasn't for Holly, the underclassmen, the freshmen, sophomores, they wouldn't have developed the way they did. And for that, I'm so grateful. She made the district team, conference team. However, to me, Holly, selflessness is the ultimate team player. And with Holly, she showed the other team through different community services, with helping with the less fortunate as far as Challenger Baseball, Habitat for Humanity. The thing about Holly is she always has a smile. And sometimes I'd scratch my head, why is she smiling? We're supposed to be training here. It's time to go to work. But always had a smile. And I think the toughest thing about being a coach is ending a year and with players like yourself. And thank you very much for all your hard work. And one little story. Holly, beginning of the season, there was a tournament. I said, hey, the whole team couldn't make it. We only had, most of the season, there was 14 players. That's pretty difficult, varsity. Well, Holly here, one particular tournament, I said, well, let's go. We got 2 tournaments, and one of them, of which we'd be playing with 10 on a field for one of the games. And out of the whole team, Holly's like, let's do it. I said, that's what I'm talking about. So character, the whole 9 yards, she has it. So it was an honor. Thank you.
As we prepare to present the Player of the Year in girls soccer for 2013, for this player, it's going to be a nice souvenir when she goes off to Arkansas. Taylor Santagra of Farmington. Congratulations. Our Coach of the Year, well, he's not here because he's getting ready to play in the Final Four. Dan Bokern of the St. Pius Lancers. On behalf of KTJJ, KREI, and KJFF, I do want to thank wish St. Pius the best of luck this weekend as they play in the state Final Four. One more big round of applause for the girls soccer team. Our first presenter in the sport of girls track has been kind of a stalwart in our Spring Dream Team ceremony, thanks to his Dream Teamer. She's been here a lot. Please welcome Arcadia Valley track coach Ben Johnson.
Thank you. It's kind of bittersweet, to be here. I've got a special young lady here. Where'd you go? Over there. Yeah. That's how fast she is. But I've had the honor and privilege of coaching this young lady, really technically for the last 6 years, and I'm the only track coach at AV, and we started a junior high program, when she was a little 7th grade, a little quiet thing that didn't say anything, and got to watch her develop into a senior who was quiet and didn't say anything, but just a silent warrior. And it's such an honor to be able to say great things about her. Get through the stats, I guess, first. She holds 6 school records, which I have great confidence are going to be around for a long time at our program. 5:01 mile, 11:02, 3,200 2-mile, a 2:15 800. She's also on the 4x8 and the 4x4 teams. She has 5 individual state titles under her belt and has made All-State 11 times in the sport. And what's really impressive in all of that is she scored over 1,000 points in a track career. And those that are in the track game know that's kind of difficult. When you score points, you think about maybe scoring, the really good ones, you'll score 40 points if you're in 4 events and get 10 points for first place, and that all adds up over 1,000. That's just amazing to me. And this young lady is second to none. Her parents, Don and Michelle, I've got to thank you. You guys did it right. She's an incredible athlete. You two were completely supportive. You volunteered your time and were there whatever I needed. You guys did it without, question, without criticism. And I remember after 2nd or 3rd year, with this young lady, Don did come to me and he said, "Are you trying to kill my daughter?" I remember this. We were in the cafeteria and I looked at her and I said, "Don, I don't think I could if I tried." I pushed her, and you know what? She took everything, that I was able to dish out, and it was just an absolute joy to watch on this track. And it's been, a fun time. But it was kind of a long car ride up here because I knew this is our last official, duty together. But a special young lady, top of her class, and even though this is goodbye, for us, I'm going to be watching. I'm now going to be an Ole Miss Rebel fan, as that's where she's going to run next year. So I will be watching with great intent. And my last official coaching order is what I've always told her a million times on the track. She's probably tired of hearing it, and that's Saga, be fierce. Thank you.
I'm 98% sure this is a record. Saga made the dream team 7 times throughout her high school career, 3 times in cross country, 4 times in track, starting way back in her freshman year. And Saga, we're going to miss you around here wherever you went. She's kind of been a real familiar face, and I think her freshman year was my first year with the radio station. Our next presenter is presenting a state champion this year as well. Please welcome DeSoto coach Terry Frank.
Good evening. I too would like to thank the radio station, and again, just congratulate all you athletes here today. It really is a great feat. I'm here to talk about Kendra Perrin. Kendra and I have known Kendra now for 3 years. I've watched her, well, I'd like to say I've watched her grow up a little bit, maybe a smidge, She's a goofball, and we like it that way, to be honest with you. So, but she has come a long way. Her first day of high school track, she went out for soccer. Later on that year, I could have swore she was practicing for the Harlem Shake at the state track meet, standing in the blocks, ready to run for the prelims. But she has grown into being absolutely the fiercest competitor and one of the toughest young ladies I've ever met. And it has been an honor to coach her. She put that on display this weekend. As the man over there just said, she won the state title in the 100 hurdles. She is the first state champion at DeSoto High School history in women's track. She might be the first girl ever. I'm still fact-checking. She's been a great athlete for 3 years, folks. But really, this year, she has taken it to just a whole new level. And as you've heard with all these athletes, I've been sitting listening all night, and you hear these themes. And she's just absolutely great teammate. She works with all the other girls, and she just works her tail off, day in, day out. Simply put, as I've said and I've told people, and actually we had this conversation a couple weeks ago, track is one of those sports where it's criticize. In a rare moment, I actually told her what I thought of her work a couple weeks ago, and she's a coach's dream. She's talented, she's extremely coachable, she's hardworking, extremely tough. Just a few of her accomplishments. She's school record holder in the 100-meter hurdles with a 14.67. She holds the 300-meter hurdle record as well, 44.27. She was the JCAA Conference MVP and Conference Champion in the 100 hurdles, 300 hurdles, long jump, and 200-meter dash. She was district champion in 300 hurdles, long jump, 4x200-meter relay, and a two-time district champ in the 100-meter hurdles. She was a state qualifier in long jump. She's a two-time All-State in the 100-meter hurdles, 3 times All-State in the 300-meter hurdles, 2 times All-State in the 4x2-meter relay, and a state champion in the 100-meter hurdles. Congratulations, Kendra.
Next up, we have a presenter who has been Coach of the Year 4 out of the last 5 years, and including the last 2 years. Festus coach John Kreitz.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here to talk about our junior at Festus High School, Jamie Kempfer. She's the daughter of Liz and Darren Kempfer. Jamie's been on a long road to get where she's at so far, and when I say that, I mean as her track career started, she was a sprinter. I'm not sure she was too enthused about becoming a distance runner, but she's embraced it as of late. As a freshman, she was on the All-State or the state champ 4x8 team. Had great success as a freshman, and then as a sophomore, had some injuries and really battled through them. And in an area where, in an event like the distance races around here, it's not very forgiving when you're nicked up or you're injured, because the competition is fierce to say the least. As you can see, 4 of the 5 on the Dream Team are distance runners, and there's several that are not on the Dream Team that very well could be. So to say that you got to be at the top of your game every time you step on the track is an understatement. I think every race we ran this year, there was at least 1, if not 2 or more state champs involved. So if you weren't ready to go, you were going to have a very long day. But Jamie joined a very elite club in Jefferson County as only the 4th girl ever to run under 11 minutes in the 3200, joining Jessica Dahl, Caitlin Fisher, and Alyssa Allison. So it's a tremendous honor of all the great runners we've had in Jefferson County. To be in the mention with those people is, a feat in itself. She also is the second in our school in the 3200. Finished this year as All-State in the 3200, the 4x8 and the 1600, and was ran a very important race for us, not only setting the attitude for us, but in the conference race in the 3200 this year, she was able to win that, and that really gave us a boost of confidence going into the rest of the meet, and allowed us to win our 8th conference championship in a row. Jamie's a tremendous student, again, an avid worker, knows all the things it takes to be great, whether it be what you do to your body and how that affects it, and maintaining her physical condition. It's just unbelievable, and I look for big things from her in the future. She is a junior. She will be coming back, and I really consider her the leader of a group of girls that Coach Wright and myself consider the best group of distance runners we've ever had come to our school, and we've had some very good ones. So, Jamie Kempfer.
Our next presenter was unable to attend the ceremony tonight. It was to be Herculaneum girls track coach David Cook, but Coach Cook did send in a statement for me to read on his behalf about his dream teamer, Caitlin Fisher. Let's give her a round of applause. Now, Caitlin's another one that's no stranger to the Dream Team process. She has made the Dream Team 4 times with a combination of track and cross country as well. Her track team at Herculaneum, the girls finished 2nd place at state this year. The boys took 8th place, which Coach Cook also coaches. This is the statement that Coach Cook wanted me to read on his behalf. Caitlin is one of the hardest working athletes to come through Herculaneum in a long time. Early on in the track season, Caitlin was plagued by a knee injury and was unable to compete until around mid-April. When Caitlin returned to the track, she did so with the same determination and competitive spirit that has fueled her career at Herculaneum High School. Caitlin won the 3,200 meter and 1,600 meter at the district and sectional meet this year and was a state champion in the 3200 at the Class 2 meet. In all, she is an 8-time state champion between cross country and track, winning the 1600 meter 3 times, the 3200 meter 4 times, and finishing first at the state cross country meet. Caitlin was selected as a scholar athlete by the St. Louis Post-Dispatch in 2012 and 2013. During high school, she was a member of the Student Council, class vice president, and a member of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes and the National Honor Society. This fall, Caitlin will be attending the University of Missouri, MIZ, he's from Kansas, where she will participate in cross country and track. Caitlin is a wonderful person, a great student, and a tremendous competitor, and we're proud to present this 2013 Spring Dream Team Award to Caitlin Fisher. Next up, we have a 4-time Coach of the Year as well. He's actually tied with Coach Kreitz for the most in Dream Team history. Give a warm welcome to St. Genevieve coach Brian Jett.
Thank you. I'd like to echo the sentiments of the previous coaches and congratulate all these Dream Teamers and thank the radio station. This is a wonderful thing they do for these youngsters. It's my privilege to introduce Ms. Taylor Werner. She's the daughter of Chris and Becky Werner. She should be pretty easy to talk about. Her freshman track season started off with a bang. Our first, I'd say, big meet of the year, we ran up at Festus, and she went 4:57 in the 1600 meter. I'm going to talk times because that's what we track guys do. 4:57. Breaking 5 is quite a feat for a young lady. So we felt pretty confident in doing that early in the season. A week later, we went back up, and she had the opportunity to race Miss Hannah Long at the Festus Tigertown meet, and she ran a 10:25 for the 3200 meter, and that's unheard of. The 10:25 is a school record now. We got into mid-season and things were a little bit less impressive, but they started to heat up again as we got into the state series. As the competition got better, so did her times. Her season culminated this past weekend with 4 gold medals. She anchored the Class 3 champion 4x8 relay team, and she ran a split of 2:16. A few hours later, she ran the prelims of the 800, ran a 2:14, won the prelims. An hour later, about an hour and 15 minutes, she set a Class 3 state record in the 2-miler, the 3200 meter run, with a time of 10:38. Saturday at 1:30, Taylor ran the 1600 meter run, and she won it with a time of 4:52. She narrowly missed the Class 3 state record set by Alyssa Allison by 1 second. An hour and 15 minutes later, she raced the finals of the 800, and she won with a time of 2:13.12. Her weekend accomplishments helped her team win St. Genevieve's first state championship. Ms. Werner wasn't just successful this spring. This past fall, she won the individual Class 3 cross-country championship and led her team to another state championship. A few weeks later, she earned All-American honors at the Foot Locker cross-country championships. She was named Missouri Gatorade's 2012 Runner of the Year. But she's not just a hard-working, gifted runner. First and foremost, she's humble. She handles the pressure of the media like a seasoned veteran, and she has from the beginning. She's a true team player and always puts her team before herself. She's an excellent student. She ranks second in her class and has a GPA of 11.42. She's a member of the NJHS, the Student Council, and the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Did I mention she's a freshman? Ladies and gentlemen, Taylor Werner.
Takes me 5 minutes to get from there to here, and they can run a mile in 5 minutes. It's time for our girls track athlete of the year, or MVP, if you will. And our girls track athlete of the year was a state champion in the 1600, 3200, 800, and as well as the 4x800 relay team from St. Genevieve, Taylor Warner. Taylor was also our cross-country runner of the year in the fall. Congratulations, Taylor. And for our coach of the year, when you win a state championship, it's hard not to be coach of the year. This is his a record fifth time receiving the award. Brian Jett, also from St. Genevieve.
What an honor. Having the athletes like I've been blessed with over the years makes you look like a lot better coach than you are. I've been blessed with some great runners that are willing to work hard and sacrifice, and that's really the key to my success. Thank you.
Keep that applause going for the girls track dream team 2013. Our first presenter in boys track has been a two-time coach of the year in his sport. He also coaches girls track now at Farmington. Please welcome Derek Eves.
It's my pleasure to introduce Josh Thomas, the son of Lisa Mingwasser and John Thomas. Josh had an amazing senior season. He has the fastest time on our teams in the 100, 200, 400, 300 hurdles, and 110 hurdles. He finished 8th at the prestigious KU Relays in the 300 hurdles. He was the MAAA Conference champ in the 100 meter dash, the 200 meter dash, the 110 hurdles, and the 400 meter dash. He was also Class 4 District 1 champ in the 110 hurdles, where he broke the school record, becoming the first person in school history to run under 15 seconds in the event, running 14.87. He represented Farmington High School this past weekend at the state track meet in the 300 hurdles and the 110 hurdles. He was all-state in the 110 hurdles, finishing 4th, where he broke his own school record in the prelims, running 14.82. Josh is also the 2013 Hale Memorial Trophy winner, which is given to the Farmington track athlete that scores the most points in a season. But I think the thing that Josh is the most proud of happened yesterday evening at the Farmington track. His older brother, Zach, is our school record holder in the 300 hurdles. And like I said earlier, Josh is the school record holder in the 110 hurdles. So yesterday evening we had the Thomas brother showdown. They ran both hurdle races, and Josh edged Zach out in both. But Zach wanted everybody to know that he worked all day yesterday. And when they ran a third event, the 200, Zach was able to pull that one out. As they were both laying on the track, Zach got a couple jabs in on that last running event. But the best thing about Josh is not all of his medals, his awards, his really fast time, or even his family bragging rights. It's the type of person he is off the track. I thank his parents and his family for instilling in him a belief in our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. This belief is one of the major influences that has shaped him into the outstanding young man that he is today. Josh is one of those athletes that you never have to worry about what he's doing on the weekends or when the coach isn't looking. He's a high-character young man who I have enjoyed being around the last 4 years and who I will miss. Josh Thomas.
As the youngest of 4 brothers, Josh, you are my new hero. I beat them at everything too. It's awesome. Our next presenter is our reigning coach of the year. His boys track team finished 10th place over the weekend. Festus track coach Chris Partney.
I'm here to accept the award on Zach Reed's behalf. Zach Reed is our pole vaulter that just finished and won the state championship this past weekend. He's sad that he couldn't be here tonight, but he is in the Missouri-Kansas All-Star meet. And even though he wanted to be here, he'd already committed to be in the meet, and I told him, hey, that's fine. Anything that involves beating Kansas is good in my book. That's great in my book. Zach Reed is a phenomenal young man and a phenomenal athlete. He is currently ranked number 1 and was throughout his entire senior year as a 15'6" pole vaulter. That's in all classes. And he won the state championship this past weekend vaulting 15 foot. He was undefeated the entire season until sectionals, at which there was a tie, and then on tie breaks, he got second place. And the kind of competitor that he is, that just, ate away at him. He was going to the state track meet, he was ranked very high. He did well, but that just, bothered him so much. He was that kind of a competitor. He set the conference record this year with a vault of 14.6, and again, even though he was happy with that, he just wanted to be setting a record that was even much higher, and he was disappointed himself because he was just so laser guided in what he wanted to do and achieve, which was win the state title sometime before he graduated. And that was really something that drove him for 4 years, and it was great to see him achieve that this past weekend. So while he couldn't be here today, I'm happy to accept this award on Zach Reed's behalf. Thank you.
Now imagine having a boss who not only is from the state of Kansas, but graduated from Kansas. I forgot my tie today that I was going to wear, so I'm wearing his tie. And he brought me some options to work, saying, okay, you can have these. 3 of them were KU ties. And I was like, no, I'd burn it, but I'm not gonna wear it. So it's not fun. Anyway, our next presenter is Hillsboro Hawks coach Alex Rugley.
I'm here to present Mr. Zachary Crump. He is the son of Jason and Michelle Crump. Zach has been a mainstay on our varsity track team for 4 years now. His work ethic outside in the ring and in the weight room is absolutely amazing. He is like having another coach out in the ring. He takes great pride in being technically sound in everything he does. And it is definitely easy to call Zach a student of the game. Talking some numbers, I know Coach Jett had mentioned that as well. I'm going to talk a little bit of weight room numbers because Zach holds current a couple school records in our weight room as well, and that goes into with what he does throwing. Zach is a member of our 1,100-pound club, which is the combined weight of the 3 core lifts, which is bench press, power clean, and squat. He holds the current school record in power clean at 325 pounds, as well as back squat at 500 pounds. He was a member of our 2013 Conference Championship track team and also the 2013 Conference Champion in disc. He has been a member of the All-Conference and All-District teams for the past 3 years. He was also a 2012 state qualifier in disc. He is also a 4-year track letterman. Zach is also involved in Spanish Club, National Honor Society, A+, wing team, and is also a junior volunteer firefighter. Zach plans on attending a four-year university next year where he plans on majoring in physical education, minoring in coaching, and being a member of their track program. He's kind of going back and forth between Millikan and Lindenwood University right now. He plans on throwing disc as well as the hammer in college. And then I'd also like to personally thank Zach's parents, and I had mentioned their names earlier, Jason and Michelle Crump, for raising such a fine young man. Zach is someone who I can only hope that my own son can emulate as he grows into becoming a young man. Again, it's with great pride and pleasure that I congratulate Zachary Crump.
Before we bring our next presenter up here, I'd like to acknowledge in your programs, if you flip to page 5, you'll see a list of our sponsors, and shop with those guys, do business with them, because they're the reason that we're having a Dream Team here tonight. Let's give a round of applause for our participating businesses. Also, Russ Toombs is the boys track coach at St. Genevieve. Actually, this was his last year at St. Genevieve. He's stepping down, and Chris Warner will be taking over. But he is the boys track coach, but he's going to have Brian Jett speak on his behalf, because Brian is the distance coach, and Andrew Moore is a distance runner. Before we bring Brian up here, how about a big round of applause for Coach Toombs stepping down after a great run at St. Genevieve. He was the 2011 Coach of the Year, Coach Toombs was. Now let's welcome Brian Jett back up here.
Coach Toombs, how many years was that together? I'm going to be lost now. Russ has really been a right-hand man for me for the last 15 years. We worked real well together. Going to miss him. Glad to have Chris stepping in his shoes. He's a good man too. Anyway, I'm here to introduce Mr. Andrew Moore. He's the son of Steve and Sandra Moore, and Andy's primarily a 2-miler, 3,200-meter guy. His season began with a 9:54 at the Festus Early Bird Meet, and like the 5-minute mile, if you can break 10-minute and a 2-mile early in the season, you're off to a good start. 2 weeks later, he went 9:39 at the Festus Tigertown Meet. We ran some pretty fast times at Festus this year due to the cooler weather. A few weeks passed, and the eventual 2-mile state champion, Sheldon Knies from St. Charles West, came down and ran at our invitational. Andy went 9:42. He was edged out by Sheldon. The season progressed, and Andy went on to be the conference champion in the 3,200-meter run, and he ran the third leg of the conference champion 4x8 relay team. Andy earned all conference honors in the 3,200-meter run, the 1,600-meter run, and the 4x800-meter relay. Next, he earned all district honors in the 3,200-meter run and the 4x8 relay. A week later, Andy placed second at the 3,200-meter run at a tough sectional meet, and that earned him a trip to the state meet. This past weekend, Andy earned his first track all-state medal, placing third with a time of 9:44. This wasn't Andy's first taste of all-state honors. This past fall, he placed second at the state championship cross-country meet. Mr. Moore's success is attributed to tremendous work ethic, dedication, and discipline. The kids that run for me get there a 5:45 in the morning. We start our ab work and our core strengthening around 6 a.m. Most mornings find him running 5 to 6 miles. Yeah, he says mostly 6. Been blessed to have a volunteer coach run a lot of the road courses with him and do a lot of the workouts with him. Former Dream Teamer John Boyd, he helps out a lot with Andy, and that's the morning workout. And then we go into the afternoon, and then it gets tough. Anyway, he has tremendous work ethic. He's very dedicated and disciplined. He runs twice a day most of the year, and he is a pleasure to coach. But Mr. Moore's strengths are not just in running. He's a great student. He ranks 19th in his class. He's got a GPA of 10.57. He's a young man of strong character and integrity. Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Moore.
Next up is another reigning Coach of the Year. He actually tied last year with Chris Partney. Despite not having a Dream Teamer on the team last year, still made Coach of the Year. He also led his team to back-to-back state titles prior to moving up a class this year. Welcome Valley Catholic coach Jake Martin.
I'd like to thank J-98 and congratulate all the student athletes behind us. I'm here speaking about Nicholas Klein, son of Eric and, go ahead, clap. Son of Eric and Stephanie Coleman. I know a lot of people talk about, just numbers, but the greatest thing about Nick is his work ethic. Nick has been, from his freshman year to his senior year, right there in my hip pocket, trying to be my assistant coach all the way. Sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing. But getting up early in the morning, as Coach Jett and their kids do, Nick does 2-a-day workouts. He has just been a phenomenal athlete for me from the start of his career to, unfortunately, the finish of his career this season. A little bit about Nick. Nick, before this season, was a 7-time All-State track athlete, which is a very good feat. This year, he was also qualified in 4 events to the state track meet. Right before the state track meet, he suffered a knee injury, unfortunately, but was able to compete in the 4 events. They placed 8th in the 4x8 and 6th in the 4x4, which made him a 9-time All-State track athlete, which for us is, I believe, the most in school history for the guys team now. That's a good one. Nick has countless all-conference and all-district awards. I'm not going to go through all those. I think some of the great things about Nick is he's been a part of the 2 state championship 4x8 teams, relay teams, and, of course, back-to-back state title track teams, which for me is, like Coach Jett said, you're blessed with wonderful kids, and my awards are these kids' awards who've made it happen for me. But, again, the greatest thing about Nick is that he beat me to track practice every day. His phone messages beat me to track practice every day to see what we were doing. And then he was the first to track practice to ask me what we were doing, and then the first to make a suggestion to make it better, which was just about every single day. But I believe Nick is going to have surgery done on his knee, hopefully, and he's going to continue his running career, hopefully in the next year and a half after he heals up. And I believe Nick's future holds, hopefully, a promising track coaching career. Unfortunately, I'm sorry that he's leaving us. I would love to keep him for another year. But unfortunately, we got to send him off to the real world to accomplish great things. Love you, Nicholas Klein.
I want to say you guys are doing a great job on the applause. You could laugh at my jokes a little bit more if you could sell that, just live it up a little bit. Come on. I'm just kidding. Our player of the year for track, and this was a 4th place finish for this individual at the Class 4 meet in the 110-meter hurdles, Josh Thomas of Farmington. And Josh, I just looked, Zach did not make player of the year, so way to go, man. And then our coach of the year, last year we had a tie between Jake Martin and Chris Partney. This year we have a tie between 2 different coaches. First up, we'll ask him to come up individually and say a few words. First up, this is his 3rd time receiving this award, Farmington track coach, Derek Eves.
I want to thank my coaches. You track coaches know how important it is to have good assistants. I think I have one of the best staffs around. Jordan Stone, Becky Noble, Todd Vaughn, and Mandy Whitener. They do an outstanding job. They have a great love for the sport, and it really makes my job easier. And having athletes like Josh, like one of the coaches said earlier, makes you look a lot smarter than you really are. Thank you.
And for our other spot, making the coach of the year in 2013, Well, Coach Toombs, you thought you weren't going to have to speak today. St. Genevieve, it's a clean sweep. This is Coach Toombs' second time in 3 years receiving this award, and way to go out with a bang, Coach.
Wow, I thought I got out of that. I would like to thank everybody here, and as all the track coaches have said, you know, a lot of this is because of these athletes, and you all know it in all your sports. I really think our coaching staff, we work really well together. This is a hotbed of track, as Coach Kreitz said earlier, so I'm really honored that I was voted this, and again, thanks to my athletes and thanks to the area coaches and J-98.
It's been a pleasure, Coach Toombs. One more big round of applause for the boys track dream team. And a track analogy, we're now on the home stretch with baseball. And our first presenter there, after 17 years coaching the Central Rebels, is now stepping away from his program. A great season for Central this year. Welcome, Brian Wallen. He's still going to coach softball, though.
Again, thanks to KTJJ for their continued high school baseball coverage. They do an excellent job throughout the years and have done for many years. It's with great honor and with privilege that I get to introduce Mr. Derek Mitchell as a 2013 Dream Team baseball player. Derek is a son of Randy and Lana Mitchell and has been a part of our baseball program for 2 years, and he's a big reason for us winning a district title in 2012 last season. 3 years ago, we had heard a rumor that there was a chance that Derek was possibly moving into our school district after his sophomore year. The coaching staff and I was very excited about that. And sometimes you never know what you're going to get when you get a move-in. And I think he has been everything and more than we expected. We were very happy and pleased that they made the decision for him to move over. And he's been a big part of our school district and our program, both in baseball and football. Derek is not only a great baseball player, but he's also a great student and a fine young man. He finished his high school with a 4.04 weighted GPA, which is out of a 4.0 scale. It is very, very tough, and took some difficult classes in that span. This season, Derek led the team in almost every offensive category, including average, where he hit 410 hits, 32, 8 doubles, 4 home runs, 23 RBIs, had a 692 slugging, 449 on base percentage, and the most impressive thing to me was his 520 average with runners in scoring position. He was voted as unanimous selection to the MAAA All-Conference team and the Class 4 All-District team. And he also just recently made the Senior All-Star team and will be participating in the All-Star game next weekend. Over the past 2 seasons, Derek has compiled the following stats and ranks in the top 10 with his career stats, which in our program has been, we've been collecting these stats for over 30 years that our program's been in existence. And for him to do and to be where he's at in just 2 years is very impressive. Career batting average, he's 5th all-time with a 409 average. Hits, he's 11th all-time with 70. 58 RBIs is 4th all-time. 33 extra base hits, which is 6th all-time. Doubles, 19, 7th all-time. And then triples, he holds the record for with 8, and that's, again, overall, he's 1st all-time. Aside from his successes in baseball, Derek was an all-conference, all-district, all-region, and as well as a 2-time member of the football dream team. The thing I am most proud of Derek was his work ethic and his attitude. Derek showed up to practice and to off-season conditioning, which is not very fun sometimes, every day without any complaints and being a team leader. He always showed respect to the coaches and to his fellow teammates. Although he wasn't a very vocal leader, he led by example, and his leadership every day that he showed that on how he played the game. I have no doubts that Derek will be successful in whatever career path he chooses, and I want to let him know how proud I am of him and how glad I am that he moved to Central. One thing I am jealous is that he can grow a better beard than me. But so once again, I'd like to congratulate Mr. Derek Mitchell.
We called a few Central games this year, and well, every year. And every time Derek steps up, you're like, man, this guy just looks like he can hit. He was one of those guys. Before we move on, I do want you to give a big round of applause for Brian Weibel. He has been the model, or Brian Wallen, and Brian Weibel, by the way, but Brian Wallen has been the model of class, and I'm going to miss working with him for baseball. Freudian slip, because Brian Weibel, who will come up later on, he also just finished at Potosi, and he too has been the model of class. You'll get your round of applause later, though, Coach. I'll hold that. Our next presenter was to be DeSoto Dragons coach Josh Phipps. He led his team to a 19-8 finish and a district runner-up finish this year. He was unable to attend, but Doug Fromm, his Dream Team athlete, is here today. Doug, you want to step up? Round of applause. Now, Coach Phipps was sorry he was unable to attend today, but he too, like the other coaches that weren't able to make it, sent me a statement to read on his behalf, and I'll do that now. Doug has been a 4-year starter for the DeSoto varsity baseball program. We couldn't be more proud of the accomplishments of Doug. As a baseball player, he brings all the attributes any coach would desire. He possesses speed, power, agility, arm strength, and a great glove. Doug finished his high school career hitting .400 with an on-base percentage of .467, 9 doubles, a triple, and a home run, and drove in 22 RBIs this season. Doug stole 17 bases this year and was caught stealing less than a handful of times. He was perfect in the outfield with a 100% fielding percentage and several assists from the outfield. Academically, Doug boasted a cumulative GPA of 3.23, was in the top 25% of his graduating class, and scored a composite score of 25 on his ACT. Doug works hard and never had a disciplinary issue report to the office or to the baseball coaching staff ever. This speaks clearly of Doug's character, his work ethic, and his focus and determination to be a champion on and off the field. It's been a pleasure coaching Doug, and he'll be greatly missed this year. Our inside joke amongst the coaching staff this year, when Doug would make a big play, was that's going to be tough to replace next year. The truth is that you can't replace the kind of athlete Doug is. It truly pains me that I can't be here for Doug and celebrate this accomplishment with him. Doug Fromm from DeSoto. Coach McDaniel probably remembers Doug told us in the Dream Team interview that he hosed one of your St. Genevieve Dragons, I think maybe trying to score on him, and got him by like 50 feet or something. So that kind of stood out in my mind, especially when Coach Phipps mentioned the great arm from the outfield. Our next presenter was named Softball Coach of the Year for the second time in our Fall Dream Team ceremony. Welcome to the podium, Jeff Montgomery from Festus.
Thank you, Glenn. I'd like to congratulate all the athletes up here tonight and all the work they put in and just some of the things they've done. We got a lot of really important athletes, I think, in our area, track, baseball, and you guys did a great job. And the radio station does a great job honoring them. I'd like to introduce to you Jeremy Brown, Festus High School. Jeremy is the son of Cindy and Dave Brown of Festus. He's a junior. I've got to say, I'm glad I get him back next year. He's a 2-year starter. He was a Dream Team this year for the first time, was also first team All-Conference and All-District. As far as All-Conference, he also was the top vote getter. We had our voting this morning, and he was the top vote getter in the All-Conference. He had 27 RBIs this year, had 4 home runs, 1 home run that he hit over at GCS Stadium. If you've ever been over there, they have a brick building in far left field, and the ball cleared the building. Quite an impressive shot in the pouring down rain, to say the least, also. And when Jeremy gets the pitch to hit, he can really drive the baseball. He had 25 hits this year, 8 stolen bases. He really creates a lot of havoc on the bases and does a lot of things for our team. One of the really interesting stats he had 9 hit by pitches. This kid, if the ball is in the batter's box, he will let it hit him. He will wear one for a team. He's gritty. His demeanor really rubs off on our teammates. He's not scared to get hit with a baseball. And as a number 3 hitter in our batting order, there were times that, he probably could have got out of the way, but he was one to get on base to help our team win. And just a consummate teammate and a really hard worker. He also has a lot of savvy about him. He knows when to go talk to pitchers. He knows when to go talk to his infielders. He's like having a coach on the field. And part of that's because Jeremy started out as our bat boy in 4th, 5th grade, and I still remember and sometimes even when I look at him in the face and we talk at practice, I still have flashbacks, when he was in 4th and 5th grade riding on those school buses with us on the way to games and, being there in the dugout and being a part of it. He has been around baseball his whole life. His older brothers played as well. And so I think This kid, he's one of those kids where if we have a day off, I have to tell him, hey, look, why don't you put the bat away? You know, he will go out and take 50 swings to try to better himself for the next day, the next game. He's a solid defensive player as well at shortstop, fields the ball very well, and he's a kid that will be a big part of our team next year, and I'm really fortunate we're going to have him back. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeremy Brown.
The next coach that's going to speak this evening led his team to the Small Schools Championship in the Jefferson County Athletic Association. Please welcome Herculaneum coach Zach Bone.
Thank you guys very much. I want to thank J-98, KTJJ, also KREI, KJFF, and Glenn, you individually for all you do for athletics in this area. Also Ryan Reinheimer, longtime sports director at KJFF, who has moved on and has done a tremendous amount for the community as well. I'm here to introduce Mr. Brady Womack. Brady is the son of Kirk and Nikki Womack, who are here tonight. I want to congratulate him on a tremendous year, talk a little bit about the numbers for him, which are certainly eye-popping, but also about what a tremendous young man he is. Certainly in good company tonight as I look around here. Congratulate all the young men and women who have made the Dream Team this year. I look around from a baseball perspective, and I see just an unbelievable collection of talent. And year in, year out, I sincerely believe that baseball in this area is as good as anywhere in the entire state and really as good as anywhere in the Midwest. That says a lot about the coaching, certainly, but the caliber of players we're able to have year in and year out, and this year is no exception. Brady is a young man who is one of the better athletes that's come through Herculaneum High School in a long, long time, not just in terms of his ability on the baseball field, but he was an all-conference football player as well, pretty good basketball player, and a kid who has displayed not only a lot of athleticism, but has been able to turn that into becoming a very, very accomplished baseball player as well. As a kid who hit .488 for us this year, drove in 16 runs and stole 12 bases. A lot of you will know him from his work on the mound where he won 5 games, struck out 81 in 36 innings, which I know those numbers, they get to be gaudy and they're eye-catching and deservedly so. But more importantly, as good an athlete and as good a baseball player as Brady is, he's an even better young man. And we talk about things like leadership and character and hard work, and he certainly has all those traits, but also things like responsibility, accountability, competitiveness. He's really, as I told him after our very last game, he's the perfect role model for what a young man should be and how he should carry himself. I feel so fortunate to have had him, as well as his brother Blake and his whole family, in our program, because the things they've given us are absolutely irreplaceable. The commitment that Brady has given us and production is absolutely irreplaceable for us. So he's certainly going to be missed in that sense, not only for the type of player he is, but more importantly for the young man he is and the impact he's had not only on the field but also off the field, and the accomplishments he's had in the classroom as well. Tremendous student, a young man who is going to be attending Jefferson College on a baseball scholarship next year. I have absolutely no doubt that he's going to have success there on the field and in every endeavor for the rest of his life because, like I said, as good of an athlete as he is in terms of makeup and character, he's that much better. And I'm sincerely grateful and honored to have the privilege to sit here and talk about him tonight. I want to thank his parents for the young man they've raised, and I want to thank him as well for the years he's given me.
For those of you listening at home, when Coach Bone said Brady was a pretty good basketball player, Brady gave a shrug as if to say, yeah, I'm all right. No big deal. I just dunk it. Next up, our presenter had his team ranked as high as 4th in Class 3 this year, and I believe he's presenting just the second Dream Teamer ever from Jefferson High School. Please welcome Ross Koenig.
Thanks again, J-98. Thanks to the radio station. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. Coaches, thanks, guys. You guys do a great job. Parents, thank you for all that you guys do. I'm here to introduce Junior Brock Boxtiegel. You know, when I first got the position out at Jefferson, first thing I did was I had some camps. I went around and I watched baseball games and just seeing exactly what I was kind of getting myself into. And I kept seeing Brock. And I would watch him and I would see that, you see this very athletic, left-handed hitting middle infielder. And I thought, that's a guy that we're going to be able to build a program around. Now, I didn't know exactly what we had as far as a competitor, and that's what Brock showed this year. Brock on the mound was a fierce competitor. He is in anything he does, especially in ping pong. He's probably one of the best ping pong players I've ever met in my life. Brock, again, I didn't exactly know what I had with him, but like I said, as this year went on, last year he made great strides at the varsity level, and this year he really improved upon that and opened up some eyes. What Brock did, a little bit about Brock. Brock is a two-time all-district selection. Brock is Jefferson's first baseball dream teamer. Brock is also the school's first male athlete dream teamer. Brock also, since we just finished our second year of varsity competition, Brock holds just about every school record that we have. So that's, and he still has another year, and some of the numbers he's going to put up are going to be pretty tough to compete with the young guys coming up. Just a little bit about what Brock did this year. Brock was 6-1 this year. His only loss was against a young man who's sitting up here on the stage, and Brady, who just threw a heck of a game that night as well. But again, Brock was 6-1, had a 1.96 ERA in 46 innings. He threw 4 complete games, 2 one-hitters. He struck out 44 guys, only walked 8, and had an opponent's batting average of 159. If you know Brock, and Brock will probably say this as well, he doesn't necessarily have overpowering stuff with the fastball, but what Brock does is he competes. And he makes pitches, and that's what he does. And again, he's a very fierce competitor on the field. One of my favorite characteristics of Brock is he's got a great baseball personality. Great baseball person. Those of you who have been around the game, you guys understand that. He practices like there's a job to do. He's extremely coachable. He's fiery when he needs to be, and he's laid back and cracking jokes when the time calls for it. He's a guy that our boys look up to and they follow, and it's been a pleasure to get to work with Brock, and I'm looking forward to getting to coach him one more year. Brock Boxtiegel.
In case you're wondering, the first Jefferson Dream Teamer was named in the fall, and that was Sierra Brown for softball. And again, Brock is the second. Next up, just finished his 9th year with the North County Raiders. Please welcome Kyle Yunt.
Thank you. I'll start off by echoing sentiments of my colleagues here. Thank the radio station for all the great work that they do, the coverage they give our athletes and ceremonies like this, and congratulate all the Dream Team athletes. I've had the good fortune of getting to attend several of these ceremonies, and just year after year, I'm amazed to hear the accomplishments of the young men and women that we have in our area. Business at hand here, I am honored to present to you Mr. Eric Thompson. Eric is the son of Jerry and Stephanie Thompson and has been a 4-year member of our baseball program. He's also been a member of the football program for 4 years and Letterman's Club. He's a very hard-working young man and has had an outstanding season for us from start to finish. He led the team with a .468 batting average and an on-base percentage of just right under 600 for most of the season, and also led the team in hits, RBIs, total bases, slugging percentage, walks, times hit by pitch, and game-winning RBIs. Offense is not the only thing he can do, though. He's been an outstanding outfielder in the past for us, but this year we needed him to catch, and all he did was do a great job managing our pitching staff, and he also threw out 10 runners that were attempting to steal. He was chosen by our coaching staff as the MVP of our offense and the overall MVP of our team. And I have nothing but good things to say about Eric. He's done a great job. He's worked hard for 4 years, a lot of days in the weight room, a lot of days after practice, working on everything to make himself and his team better. And the only bad thing is that he's a senior, and our program is really going to miss him. I'm sure he'll be successful in everything that he does in the rest of his life, and I'm very proud to present to you North County's Dream Team baseball player, Mr. Eric Thompson.
Presenting next, after going 60-30 in 4 years with the Potosi Trojans, just announced that he just finished up his last year with Potosi, going 12-8. Please welcome Coach Brian Weibel.
I just want to thank KTJJ and KREI again, and it's been a pleasure working with you, Glenn. One thing I will not miss is whenever we come to Farmington and those post-game interviews in the loft, every single time I have hit my head somehow, or I'm out of breath or out of shape by the time I get up there to do the interview. It is my honor to present to you Devin Hammock and Dakota Glore. I have been blessed as well with great players at Potosi. This is my 6th Dream Team members, one repeating in 4 years, and to have 2 this year on what we have representing us this year is just amazing. And I'm going to start with Devin Hammock. He was our best pitcher. He's as a sophomore. He was 7-0, and he was a part of a really good team. We had Devin Hampton, Dylan Nye, and Dakota on that team, and he had a 2.08 ERA as a sophomore. His junior year was basically we lost all of our experienced players. We had a very young defense behind him, and it was basically a learning year for him and for us. He worked extremely hard in the offseason after his junior year, and not only in pitching and hitting, and just this year started out the season, his first 2 starts through 2 no-hitters, both complete games. One was 6 innings, one was 7 innings, and went on to just have an amazing, the stats for him are just amazing this past season. And I just can't say enough. I get so, the stats and everything, I'll just go ahead and read them. All right. This year, his senior year, he had 89 strikeouts. He had an ERA of 1.57. His record was 5-4, but that's not indicative of the kind of pitching he did. 2 of those losses were won by 1 run, one to Central and one to Farmington. Also to St. Genevieve, who was just an outstanding team this year, had tremendous success. Devin has, like I said, he just worked extremely hard in the offseason. I just can't be more proud of him and for all of his accomplishments. He's a 2-time first-team All-District, 2-time All-Conference player. Been playing in the Senior All-Star game. I think it's coming up this weekend. And in his 3 years, he has amassed 201 strikeouts, and I'm very proud of him, Devin Hammock. You ready to give your speech now? Yeah, since this is his first year, Coach Mays played a joke on him and said he had to give a speech, and it'd probably be much better than what I'm doing up here anyways. But next is Dakota Glore. Both of these guys have, Devin's a 3-year player for me. He moved in his sophomore year. Dakota has been basically I've been 4 years here at Potosi. He's been every day in my coaching career, and we're just really going to miss him. He started every single game but one in 4 years, and that was just kind of late in the season to kind of hold him out to get ready for districts. His career stats are amazing in 4 years. He has a .479 career batting average. His slugging percentage is .631 as a career, .611 on base percentage. This past year, his sophomore and junior year, he hit over .500. This year, teams were very, very careful with the way they pitched him, and even the most disciplined hitters will sometimes chase some bad pitches, and he still hit .475 for us, still had a slugging percentage of .639, and still had an on-base percentage of .600 this year. He's already been a 2-time All-State player, 3-time first-team All-Conference, All-District. He's also signed with Mineral Area College, even though he has had, I know Butler was after him, some D1 schools looking at him. I'm kind of glad he is staying close by so I can still watch him play. And these are 2 really good people, outstanding ball players, and they are seniors, so we are really going to miss them. Again, Dakota Glore and Devin Hammock.
Okay, now I can talk about Coach Weibel a little bit. His first year with Potosi was my first year at the radio station, and you talk about just the nicest guy to work with in the world. And again, he's stepping away from Potosi after this year. I'm going to miss you, Coach. Can we get a big round of applause for Coach Weibel? Mike, you got big shoes to fill on that one. Bring us a winner. Our next presenter is... Well, he led his team to a district championship this year, and the first one since 1993 for the St. Genevieve Dragons. Every time he comes up here, I never know what he's going to say. He's usually got something crazy to talk about. Please welcome Mike McDaniel from St. Genevieve.
Well, I'm not going to disappoint you at all, Glenn, because a couple things. First of all, I have to say that, the baseball conference is going to be missing 2 great coaches, Coach Weibel, Coach Wallen. Wish you guys nothing but the best of luck in everything you guys decide to do. But like I said, there's going to be a hole on the other side of the dugout or the other side of the field next year whenever we play you guys. So congratulations to you guys. Next thing, Mr. Fromm over here from DeSoto. Since you said that in your interview, I can't help but maybe use this stage to demonstrate. The guy that you threw out during that time is standing right next to me. And to be truthful with you, I honestly did not think you could make the throw. You proved me wrong. That was one of the best throws I saw all year long. And whenever we reached a district championship game and fly ball went out to right field and we had a runner on third, I thought to myself, ooh, maybe it's deep enough, but not exactly real sure. And the runner was ready to go and everything. It was an exciting game and stuff. And I held him up. And of course, he makes a great throw, as always. He said, Coach, I really think I could have made it. I said, no, you wouldn't have. So, anyway, I know that'll be a highlight of yours, and that's something that Brock will never forget either. One other side note here, too. Chad, I just have to tell you that you do have a KU supporter at the microphone right now. Now, we can go all WWE style and do a tag team if you'd like. However, see Mr. Crump, Mr. Mitchell, and Mr. Glore, you cannot be a part of the other tag team. Not at all. All right, all joking aside, I would like to introduce you guys to a St. Genevieve Dragon and 2-time member of the Dream Team, Mr. Brock Kreitler. It's said that with adversity comes strength, and Brock, I think, helps to embody this message and serve an example for his teammates to follow for his senior campaign. A first district title in over 20 years, I think, is a testament to that. After a monster sophomore season and a lot of team success, Brock and his teammates found out that they weren't going to be flying under the radar for too long. Other teams knew who our best hitter was, and they started to pitch him much differently. And as one of the coaches pointed out too, even good hitters will swing at bad pitches sometimes just to try to make something happen. Don't get me wrong though, Brock still put up great numbers last year, but they didn't meet his expectations or standards. Even more preparation went into the offseason this past year. While Brock had many personal goals, I know that one of them was to bat 500. 3/4 of the way through the season, it looked like he was going to completely annihilate this number, batting well over 600. For most of the year, his numbers were about as gaudy as a slow-pitch softball player. It's not every day that you go 2 for 3 or 2 for 4 and your average actually goes down. Brock met this goal by finishing the year at an even 500 and having an outstanding senior season. His on-base percentage was nearly .600, slugging percentage over .700, OPS 1.300, 33 RBIs, 31 runs scored, 18 walks, and I think this is an impressive stat for him because his freshman through junior year, which he started those 3 years, he had a combined 17 walks during those 3 years and had 18 alone his senior season. He had 12 doubles, 2 triples, 1 home run, and one of the most impressive stats that he had, he struck out twice all year long. His first strikeout came in the second and the last game of the season. Thought that was an outstanding feat for such a great hitter like Brock. But no matter his offensive stats at the plate, the one thing that I think he's the most proud of, and he would ask all year long, Coach, I'm ready to pitch. Well, as one other coach told him, because he said his arm was feeling good, he said, well, you've been saving it for the last 4 years, it ought to feel good. But his pitching, he got into 2 games, only 2 innings pitched. He struck out 4 batters, though. Opponents got 1 hit on him, so a 125 opposing average, and his ERA, goose egg, 0.00. He'd always tell me I can go in and throw a mean knuckleball, Coach. He's going to be pretty proud of that one. One thing about St. Genevieve, we've never really kept, that I know of before I got there, this is my 8th season, any kind of baseball records, which really kind of stinks to try and help put things in perspective, for our players. But one thing we have tried to compile since I've been there are records dating back as far as we can. And I'm pretty sure, at least I'll have to do some fact checking, but Brock, as far as I know, for St. Genevieve Dragon, holds season records in hits, RBIs, runs, slugging percentage, on-base percentage, OPS, and tied at batting average of .500. And for a career, I believe that he does have the record for hits, on-base percentage, slugging, OPS, RBIs, runs, and doubles. Nice job, Brock. Brock's been named all-conference his sophomore, junior, and senior year, all-district those same years. And like I said before, this is his 2nd time on the Dream Team. Carries a GPA of a 3.28 on a 4.0 scale. He's in the top third of his class. He may be a great baseball player, but more than anything, he's a great young man. His parents, Dennis and Connie, have a lot to be proud of, and this guy is standing right next to me. I know Brock will go on to do great things, and whatever he decides to play baseball next season, I know they'll be getting a great addition. Mr. Brock Kreitler.
The first 3 games I called for St. Genevieve this year, Coach McDaniel was probably ready to run me out of there. The first one was a regular season game against Central. Pitchers duel. Jake Rhodes, I think, goes the distance for Central. Andrew Suter goes pretty far for St. Genevieve. And St. Gen uncharacteristically makes 5 errors in that ball game, somewhere in there. I think it was 5. And there were a bunch of just bad hops, balls bouncing over people's heads, plays you'd never see in a million years, and they lose the game in a regular season game. The next one I believe it was the Valley Catholic game in the NAAA Tournament Championship, where it was, again, a pitcher's duel. Andrew Suter's cruising right along, and Andrew Bosler's cruising right along. Then downpour comes, and the game continues, and St. Gen starts throwing the ball around in that game, making a bunch of errors, and they lose that game in a weird fashion. And then, like 3 days later against Farmington, they lose 6-1 again to Farmington, and Al Gunter, St. Gen's left fielder, has a home run taken away from him because they said he didn't touch first base. I broadcast all 3 of these games, and to that point in the season, those were the only 3 games that I had done for St. Genevieve, and Coach McDaniel was about ready to say, look, you're obviously the problem here, get out of here. But they righted the ship. I called your district championship game, and you came back and beat DeSoto 5-4. Our next presenter is a 3-time Coach of the Year in baseball, a 3-time Coach of the Year in football. And you remember 2004 when he was the girls' basketball Coach of the Year? He's pretty good. Judd Nagger from Valley Catholic.
All righty here. I'm going to use this joke every year until Glenn decides to not make me the last guy that has to speak every year. And that is, the good news is that I'm the last guy that has to speak tonight. And the bad news is that I'm the last guy that has to speak tonight. So I'll get to my Dream Team young man here in just a second. I too would like to thank J-98 for this. for all they do throughout the season for, all these guys. I would also like to let Coach Bone know that, should you ever decide not to coach anymore, man, I would be willing to vote for you. I don't care what you're running for. I'm going to vote for you, man. To my right here is senior Tyler Litterist. Tyler is the son of Bridget Buff and Hadley Litterist. He is a wonderful example of what we want our kids to look like after they've been in our program for 4 seasons. He has made himself better in the classroom, on the field, and off the field as well. He is what makes me proud to coach. He has taught our young guys what it takes to lead, what it takes to win, what it takes to be unselfish, and he's really actually become a wonderful coach himself. Lots of times I'll see him right after somebody gets out of the cage, and he's telling them where to put their hands, how to finish, all these things that he didn't have to do. And he's just been a wonderful joy to coach. But he spent his first 2 years on the JV team, and there were times that he had the talent not to be on the JV team. But the time that he spent there not being the guy, the time that he spent there not being the dude, I think helped to lead him to being the guy later on, and helped him to being the dude. Because after our last game, we told our kids that, the mark of a good high school player in, any sport is realizing what you're not very good at and finding a way to become good at what you're not very good at. And I think Tyler was able to do that. Early in his career, he just had a hard time throwing strikes. This past year, in 62 innings, he only walked 11 guys while having 72 Ks. For the last, for the year, he actually finished with a whip under 1 and an ERA under 1. One weird stat is he gave up a third of the earned runs that he gave up on the year occurred on one swing of the bat against St. John when he had a grand slam. So, that was a bad day, but it's gone. Anyway, he was able to really understand what he needed to do to become a better player. As far as career, he finished 15-6 on the mound, including wins in the semifinal game last year, which helped us to compete at state. He was 5-6-4 this year, and in the 4 games that he lost, we scored a whopping 3 runs. So, Glenn, I think next year when we play St. John is May 1st. Can you please make sure you're there? All right. All right. But anyway, at the plate, really been outstanding there as well. The last 2 years, he has 65 hits. Over half of these were for extra bases. Hit over 400. Had 62 RBIs the last 2 seasons. All state, all conference, all district. All those things are great. But I think what's going to stand out the most is how he truly loved the guys that he was out there playing with, and did everything he could to help them win. All of you guys know, especially the baseball coaches, know we get accused of always playing, our so-called, favorites. Well, I'm not afraid to say that Tyler is one of my favorites and will always be one of my favorites. He helped to lead us to 50-10 the last 2 seasons, and helped our staff realize why we coach. And we coach because of kids like Tyler. He plans to continue his career next year. I think we got a list of schools narrowed down to maybe 2 or 3. We're not quite sure, but he'll do a good job wherever he goes. Thanks, Tyler.
Coach, I'm going to seriously consider changing up the order for you next year. Maybe we'll do reverse alphabetical order or something like that. But I will say that's just one of the problems with having a Dream Team athlete on the Dream Team every single year. Coach Negger is here every single time. It's quite astonishing what Valley's able to do. Player of the Year time for baseball. And this one was not one of our closer ones of the year. This guy just had such good numbers, especially at the time of voting, that I think coaches just really couldn't overlook what he did this season. Now, Coach McDaniel mentioned he's got all the St. Genevieve records. He can add Player of the Year to it. Brock Kreitler from St. Genevieve. As for our Coach of the Year for high school baseball 2013, this is his fourth time being Baseball Coach of the Year. They went 26-5 this year. They were small schools champs in the MAAA. They won the district title for the 7th time in 8 years, I believe it was. Valley Catholic coach, Judd Nagger.
I'd like to congratulate Brock. I was able to have him in my 8th grade English class a long time ago, and I can attest to everything Mike said about him. And he's just a wonderful kid. I'm not sure if I deserve this award or not. I just have some, outstanding players and an outstanding staff. Every day I show up to the field, my guys on my staff are there. Some of them have, been there all day, and sometimes I think I need to get their job. But anyway, I think this award goes out to my, staff and players. Thank you.
Let's hear it one more time for the 2013 Baseball Dream Team. Now, I mentioned this earlier, but this is the Dream Team ceremony, and we do this once a year, and it's always the last ceremony of the year where we issue a scholar athlete for male and female athletes of the year. Now, there's some prerequisites. You have to be on the Dream Team. You have to have been named to the Dream Team by area coaches. And also, we look at the info that the coaches send to us when we decide, okay, who should be a scholar athlete. Now, we take into account, obviously, their play on the field, on the court, whatever, on the course, whatever the case may be on the track. But we also put a strong emphasis on academics. What are they involved in school? Extracurricular activities, obviously GPA, class rank factors in, that kind of thing. Valedictorian, salutatorian, that's going to help you as well. So 116 total Dream Teamers this year for the fall, winter, and now the spring. And these two were named the top scholar athlete of the year for one male and one female. We'll start with our female scholar athlete. And again, both of these kids are in attendance today. And when we call your name, go ahead and come up and accept your award and get your picture taken. Our female scholar athlete is it's our 2nd year in a row receiving this award. She was on our volleyball Dream Team this year. She was our volleyball player of the year. Let me give you some academic stats for her. A GPA well over 4.313. She was ranked first in her class at the time she had made the Dream Team. She ended up being the salutatorian at St. Pius High School in Festus. Amy Held from St. Pius. A multiple-time Dream Team athlete, Amy Held, and again, her 2nd time receiving this award. As a junior and as a senior, that's something very rare, so congratulations, Amy. Moving on to our male scholar athlete, and while Amy was at our fall Dream Team this year, our male scholar athlete was at our winter basketball Dream Team, which was held in St. Genevieve in March. And this guy had a perfect GPA. He was the class valedictorian at Clearwater High School, averaged 19 points per game in boys basketball, 3.5 rebounds per game. He was runner-up for player of the year behind the excellent Drew Skaggs from Central. It's Ethan Roach from the Clearwater Tigers. I just want to say what an honor that it has been to be able to cover high school athletics for all the athletes sitting behind me today, and not just the Dream Team athletes, but everybody who has the courage to get out there and try a team sport and take your lumps, but keep on going out there and doing all you can because it's fun to watch as a fan, I know for all of you, and it's a lot of fun to cover as your day job when you do it for a living at a radio station. Let's give a round of applause for the Dream Team and all the athletes. Keep that round of applause going for Mineral Area College for allowing us to do this here for free again this year. Thank you so much for coming out tonight, and drive home safely. Thank you.